Go ahead, Sean. I was just wondering if there's a standardized process for public outreach to communities for the public participation. I know when it reaches the legislature, you're going to have a public hearing, but what is the process up into that point to get people engaged and involved in the process?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's really a gradual process. We begin with, there's 3 required steps to developing the plan. The first step is this initial draft phase that we're at now, which is providing it to the legislative committee for their response. We're waiting for any comments from them. And while we're waiting for that, we are also meeting with municipal planners and planning commission staff and regional COG staff, as well as state agencies. So those are the people, again, the state agencies, it's mandated that they implement the state plan, so they're a critical audience, and also based on the legislature's intent to make this more of a bottom-up plan, it's critical that we get out and get feedback here. Now, you mentioned the public. We're at this early phase, so we're trying to bring some more sort of flesh on the bones for the next draft of the plan in March. And at that point, it becomes a public draft. So at that point, anyone can, we will do public hearings where they will be widely, we will actually work through the COG to have the municipalities post the upcoming hearing dates and so forth, so that, local libraries and so forth, where the word gets out, will be advertising in newspapers and so forth. So that would be the opportunity over a 5-month period. Again, that's the statutory requirement to hold a public hearing process. We accept comments from anyone who provides them, and then we in turn provide responses to those before we publish the final recommended draft in December. The public then has yet another opportunity when it gets to the legislative branch, their process for public hearing. That hearing is obviously open to anyone as well. So it's just this initial phase right now that we aren't doing the thorough public process, but we're getting there. And it's a little difficult when we're in these initial phases where we're just trying to get traction, that who do you invite from the public, or how do you make those announcements? So that's the difficulty. And again, I think this is a reasonable representation of people who have a sense of what's going on in their municipalities to get us started before we get to the broader public process. Hope that answers your question.
Thoroughly. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you to the chair.
So Nancy,